Universal Heritage Television Nigeria. Today, we are continuing our breakfast show, Daybreak Nigeria, and we are going to be focusing on the upcoming primary election for the governorship seat in Imo State. Remember, Imo State is in the off-cycle season of elections, and its election for the governorship has been slated for November 11. What we gathered is that the respective political parties have been given up to April to conduct their primaries. I have two gentlemen to examine the issues. We have here Mr. Cosmos Unakalamba, who is the Owerri zonal leader of Apga. Sir, you are welcome.
Good morning, Nigerians, and good morning, Ndimo.
Okay, next to him is Chief Honorable Imam Neziem Onwusorom. He's also the leader, Imo State Coalition Mass Movement. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you, Imolites. Good morning.
My name is Afam Echi, your host. Please remember to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube platform. Thank you once more for joining us. Sir, let me begin with you, Mr. Cosmos. Party primaries is one of those, tools with which you can strengthen internal democracy among parties. Now, looking at the state of the parties, I want you to focus on Apga and APC. Looking at the parties, do we expect to have internal democracy being strengthened out? People talk about the reason that there is no democracy in the country is because, in the first place, there is no internal democracy. So, what do you expect? Now, looking at the state of the parties as at now, what should we be expecting?
Thank you, my brother. You see, I'm from the Apga political family, and I think in Apga we have had our experiences, we have had our falls, our downs, and our upside. But presently, in the recent leadership of Apga in Imo State, we are poised to getting it right in this 2023. And we have started, since the inception of this present leadership, all our elections, both the Okigwe senatorial by-election, the Ngopala by-elections that came up, and even they just concluded their World Congress. We had a very smooth sail, and there is no rancor-free primaries on those areas, even our delegate elections. So as it stands today, I think Apga, that internal democracy is working and functioning very well in Apga. And we want to show Ndimo that this is the direction. Yes, in 2019, we had issues where people always refer to, but every other political parties had that same issue in 2019. Even in the APC, we had the issue of Gulag and all those stuff. We had the issue of PDP making headway and how they did all those stuff. But Apga, people try to make it, the subject matter at all times, try to say this, that because maybe they have not been in power. But that is the same scenario that other political parties meet. But this time around, we've tried to correct ourselves. And at the end of the day, we want to present a very decent political party, a sellable political party, a party with the Igbo heritage.
That is for Apga.
In APC, like you just said, you see, we have only one man standing. I don't think APC will have primaries. I don't think, because from what is happening within and around the party presently, you know that even if anybody should even dare it in this present Imo, having our governor, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma as a governor, trying to even buy form of in APC, I don't know how the story will look like. It's even, from what I heard, there are even issues of people, job shifting to other political party camps to know what they are doing to talk of his own party.
Now, let me ask you, sitting with you, is it democratic? Like from the picture you painted, you said he is not. It is like there is a ban that no other person should run or buy forms. Is that democratic? We are talking about internal democracy.
It's not. It's not. How is it democratic? How is it democratic? All these things you did that just happened in the last House Assembly election, the sham that happened, they are all geared towards this primary. They are all geared to making sure that nobody dares it. Because you are even mentioning it in Imo that you are picking from in APC to run for governor. I don't know where you are running to. So it's not democratic, my brother.
Honorable Museum, now I want you to look at, just like he has captured it, to look at what is happening in Labour Party and PDP with respect to the primaries of this. Is it the same thing? Is any of the parties saying one person is going and another person should not go? So let us hear from you.
Yes, I thank you very much on this topic. I'm going to speak as an individual. I'm not going to speak as a party official like my colleagues sitting by my side. I'm a political gladiator in Imo State.
That is well known.
I know the juice of the politics in Imo State. And if I should assess, your question should center on assessment of internal democracy. I am saying I'm disappointed. Generally, because what we are talking is about human management. What we are talking is about human resource development. What we are talking is community development. What we are talking is about human management. Therefore, internal democracy is very, 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 very important for every political party to sit down and follow the Constitution of Nigeria, the electoral process guideline, and make sure that a qualitative candidate emerge, not a candidate, the highest bidder. The internal democracy is being betrayed because of votes or delegates are being bought. We are not looking at quality. We are not looking at people's exposure, experience. We are not looking at manifestos. So, I am saying both the party managers in Labour and PDP should be careful, they should be wary, because their delegates are prepared for the highest bidder. And the theory of highest bidder is not good for internal democracy. It doesn't give the actual material, the emolite. They should not forget, being in Labour, being in PDP is immaterial. Who is Labour or PDP, Apga or APC is going to govern is the masses. I would suggest that every card-carrying member of each of these political parties should be involved in their internal democracy. Why should you register them? Why do you go in for revalidation? Why you keep them handicapped? They are not participating in the party they belong. You only choose few people as delegates who will only go in for monetary benefits, and at the long run they will give us a kangaroo candidate.
Okay, as it is now, I want you to narrow your discussion. Look at PDP again, what is happening. Look at PDP, the candidates that are emerging from PDP.
Yes, I speak as a social.
And then
yes,
the same in Labour.
As a social critic, I will say I've recently heard that one of the prominent contenders in PDP, His Excellency Emeka Ihedioha, has withdrawn his candidature or interest for his aspiration. And there is another guru there, who is the National General Secretary of PDP, distinguished Senator Sandadi Anyang, and I feel I'm also hearing from the background of one or two other people. In PDP, I will say they should be wary and be very cautious, because left with me, I want this 2023 gubernatorial election to be highly contestable. Highly. It is not of good omen that APC is not having anybody challenging the incumbent governor. It doesn't give a healthy political terrain. It didn't give it. Because where you have a stronger person coming to contest in PDP, their internal democracy, you see, meaning that everybody will sit, will concentrate for the best, because they know they are bringing the best to challenge the incumbent. But in APC, I will suggest, I will cry loud that His Excellency Hope Uzodinma should keep the door of APC internal democracy open, so that the Imolites will use that primaries to assess APC, if at all hope is not there, if they have another better material. Come to Labour. Yes, I said I'm not their spokesman, but I'm an interested person in Labour. I'm a very much interested person. But I thank God that His Excellency P2B have introduced a new phenomenon in Nigerian politics. And that has shown that the people owns the power. And APC, Labour, should not mishandle that opportunity. In Imo, precisely, they should source for a material, a candidate that have the same spirit, accessibility, acceptance of the people, like Peter Obi. Not merely, I'm coming to contest, I'm an aspirant.
Okay.
Forgetting there is 27/27 challenge in Imo State.
Okay, Mr. Nakalamba, how many persons are running under Apga?
For now, I can't really tell you that this is the number of people running, because people are still picking forms. Do you understand? The day is still so bright.
When is your primary?
A primary is coming up on the 14th of this month, but people are picking forms by this week. By next week, there will be their screening will come up, and at the end of the day, we'll now be able to say this is the number of people that are running for the primary, are going for the primaries.
Okay, now still with you, Nakalamba. While we are talking about party primaries, we should also not lose sight of the fact that we should also be looking at the issue of power balancing, the power rotation in the states. If you look closely, discover that power question should move between the three O's. O's, I mean, is Okigwe, Olo, and Owara. Now, with as it appears, if the primary of APC brings out Governor Hope Uzodinma again, it will mean that at the end of the day, if he runs and wins, he would have, Oluzon alone would have governed Imo State for 24 years. Do you understand? Under Article Denwa's 8 years, or Korocha's 8 years, and Hope's 8 years. That is 24 years. As against 4 years for Kigwe, and perhaps some say none, some say 2 months or 3, for where it's 9 months. Yeah. So looking at that, we can how can you reconcile that? Reconcile that with the issue of all of us talk about equity, fairness, power balancing, and the agitation by the Igbo to have a shot at the presidency. So if we're having this at this state level, so how do you reconcile that? You get my question? Yeah. So because all of these things will only manifest if the primaries, they will be the outcome of the primaries is what is going to produce all of this.
Naturally, we know that constitutionally, what we call zoning is not captured in the constitution. But how do I put it?
Captured in the constitution of the party of the Nigerian
constitution. It is not. Okay. Yeah, we have federal character. Okay. Do you understand? We have federal character principle. But zoning, political party, this zoning system of maybe who is an internal arrangement. Okay. But naturally, it is normal, as normal human beings, that if these people, when you come to a particular family, if this person have taken, even while we are growing up, they will bring food, they will say the senior warrior take, this one take, this one take, this one, before you know, it goes round. Do you understand? Yeah. So it is normal that Oluzone, they have taken 20, they are in their 28th year now or so. Yes, in the 28th year. They are 28th year now. If they go for this one, it will be 24 years ruling Imo. Why their brothers have not really had that opportunity? It is normal that they look towards Owerri Zone. Presently now, I think Owerri Zone stands better chance and opportunity to have their own fair share in the governance of Imo State. Because when they came in, it just for about 9 months or thereabouts, or not up to 9, about that. So I think it is normal, it is rational, it is justiciable that Owerri Zone produces the next governor for Imo State. I am not speaking for Apga in this particular issue. I'm speaking on my own as a person, as an individual. Do you understand? Because for Apga, we didn't say it is zone to Owerri, or zone to Okigbe, or zone to Olo. But as an individual, I think it is something that is normal that Owerri Zone have their shot this time.
Okay, in Apga, you are a key person in Apga. Are you saying, in effect, that it is an all-commerce affair? It is thrown open to every person. You didn't micro zone to say, okay, it is Owerri Zone because they appear to be so marginalized. Is that what you are saying? You are saying that an Okigbe person can pick it, an Oluzone can pick it, or whoever you discover that is qualified can pick it. Is that what?
When the zoning issue came up in 1999, it was within the PDP bloc. Okay. Do you understand? It was within the PDP bloc. So not for Apga nor APC. Are you getting me? That is why I said for Apga, in this particular issue, I am not speaking.
Okay, as a party official.
As a party official.
Okay. You are speaking for yourself. I'm
speaking for myself. That is just even for all political parties to tilt towards Owerri Zone, so that we can be able to also know what we have seen all. We have seen the lives of Rochas with them. We've seen what they have done, their achievements, wonderful. They have done their best. But I think there are other people who are still from Owerri Zone or Okigbe Zone who can give Imo one of the best leaderships too.
Okay. Now, Honorable Majem, you are smiling. It looks like you have something to say.
Yes, the moderator, I disagree.
What did you disagree? You disagree with him?
Yes, I disagree with him. Okay. That in normal principle, when there is equity, there should be rotatory equity. I don't believe in unproductive equity. I don't believe in unstrategic equity. You are saying Olo has taken 20 years. Owerri Zone, I came from Owerri Zone. I am from Owerri Zone. Have you gone back to assess why Olo have been there for 20 Yes. Who complimented them? Who translated that mandate to them? It started by our own brother, the late Humphrey Anomodu of the blessed memory, whom we are now crying. In 1999, won the primaries, and he came from Owerri Zone. It's the same Owerri Zone leader who, by equity, says Olu should test that position with all humility. That is why I'm crying for Humphrey Anomodu, late brother. When politics, when leadership is being respected, if you are saying PDP, but the zoning pattern of PDP had been adopted by all the political parties, it's not PDP formula again. It is Imo formula. Therefore, I am saying Owerri Zone should go back to their drawing board. If Olu is playing smart game and Owerri Zone is complimenting them, giving them the power, giving them everything that it takes for them to be in that power, Olu will remain there and you will not blame them. Therefore, I am saying all the political parties, irrespective of their differences, should reconsider the zoning system for equity. But I don't believe for equity by giving us unproductive candidates.
What do you mean by unproductive candidates, unproductive strategy?
Yes, unproductive candidates. Let me say, he mentioned that the former governors have done their best. Yes, by due right, they have done their best, but they didn't do the best for the Imots. Let me draw you back, if I should recall your memory, to late Chief Ononaka Sambakwe. Only for 4 years. The evidence of his leadership in Imo as the governor still remains till today. The legacy is still there till today. I challenge all other governors. They are not people oriented. That is why I say they are unproductive. They are not people oriented. They didn't carry the people along in their governance. They are not involving the youths. They are not involving the grassroots. They are not involving the community opinion leaders. Why governance is a joint responsibility. And you cannot come to tell me you are a PhD holder. You went to Harvard. You did this. You did during the election. You come in. You want to be a governor. No, Imo need people's-oriented governor, a grassroots-oriented governor, a mixer.
Okay, let me help you that. We'll come. Let me ask Onakalamba. You are in Apga. In 2019, something happened in Apga. There were so many candidates. People rushed to Apga because Apga was seen as a beautiful bride, was seen as a party that its acceptability was virtually everywhere. Now, the similar situation appeared to be playing out in the Labour Party. Today, we know they have about 14. It's not certain yet because, like you said, people are still buying forms. I think they should have about 14, 15 candidates now. So maybe by the time their primary is slated for, I think I'm hearing it is moved from 10 to 14 or 15 or thereabouts this month. Now there are fears that what happened in Apga in 2019 will likely happen in the Labour Party. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it is normal when you have a beautiful lady. All the young men around that community tends to flock towards that particular lady. And that is why most times you see some of those ladies, they end up not getting married because there are a lot of suitors.
Or getting a better husband.
There are a lot of suitors. You get what I mean? And that better husband, that one they will not get maybe when they are now growing the normal age of marriage. So that is just what happened. In Imo, they always like beautiful brides. Oh, it's Labour now. P2B has made Labour the party. Do you understand? But the party of choice. But they forget that the success of Labour today is P2B. And P2B has a character he presented to Nigerians.
Quite well.
Do you understand?
Yes.
P2B had the capacity he presented to Nigerians. All these people that are junketing today into Labour, they are just going there to cause confusion and trouble. The majority of them don't have the character, they don't have the capacity. So today, what happened in Imo Apga in 2019, to me, from the feelers we are seeing, if not for maybe the wisdom, maybe coming from the same P2B, what happened in Imo Apga in 2019 would just be, what do they call it? A child's play to what will happen in Labour. Don't let us, we've been hearing a lot of rumors, and which we don't need to just wave it like that. People, they may be planting people into Labour just to cause confusion, just to create that situation.
No, it's not that they may plant. Labour has raised alarm that the government has planted about
infiltrators.
Infiltrators are here and there. Yeah. Do you understand? So, and the same thing happened in Apga. Okay, because how can you tell me somebody in Apga who in 2019 you were running for governor, all of a sudden that situation happened, and when Hope came on board, when Emeka came on board, you took appointment. You are now the SNG. Some took, they gave them commissioners. Which means, from ab initio, they never planned. They just came to create that situation. The same thing is happening in Labour today. So let's just watch what will happen between now and the 14th or 15th when they will have their primaries, and the Imolites will now know this Labour. Is it the same thing that we are yelling for? But I know that internal party democracy needs strong capacity to handle. You need to step on people's toes to get the actual result, whether you like it or not, in terms of their leadership. Just like what we are doing in Apga today. Do you understand? What we are doing in Apga, we don't want to know where you are coming from. We are not looking at your money, but we are going to look at your capacity. We are going to look at your antecedent in the past. And we now say, okay, this is where, as a party, this is where we want to go to. It's not about the money we are going to share in the primaries. You can share 1 billion if you like. But we are looking at people with track record. We are looking at people who we know that the responsibility, if given the responsibility of Imo, they will be able to deliver. We want to see Apga, move from one level to the other the way it is happening in Anambra today. That is our target.
Okay, Honorable Meziam, you are smiling again.
Yes.
So what do you want to say?
Now, I disagree. I disagree with him on his criticisms. It was not a constructive criticism against the candidates or aspirants that are emerging in Labour. I'm a card-carrying member of Labour.
Okay. So you should be in a position.
Yes, so what I
am not talking from the party.
Yes, yes, I'm a card-carrying member. No matter, I'm a social critic. Okay. So I'm a card-carrying member of Labour Party.
So tell us, because
so what I am saying, what I said, and I repeat to say, the topic I've come up here, that Labour should be very wary. They should be very careful of infiltrators. Number two, they should classify the type of people, the caliber of people, not just bring everybody into. I would have suggested they do what we call screening by Electoral college. By disqualifying, doing what we call intelligence networking on some of these aspirants who are being sponsored, not necessarily by the government. Are you getting me? By other political party. Because seeing Labour as a beautiful bride, there is every tendency to destabilize them. And because of the stomach infrastructure, a lot of mistakes that was done in Apga then may be repeated in Labour by not getting a credible person. I know.
So you are talking about electoral, there's something you call
Electoral college.
I'm saying screen, yes. I'm saying stages before primaries.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't want, I'm suggesting that not all of them should go for primaries at a time.
Okay.
We have what we call community college, electoral college, which is card carrying members. They vote for all of them, and the first 4 will now meet the main delegates.
Okay.
Because if you carry all of them, both the infiltrators, the sponsored aspirants, you will see that the stomach infrastructure will make the main choice not to emerge. But to me, the statement I want to correct that Labour, we have credible aspirants. Out of the 14, we have credible aspirants, and I'm asking Labour to keep their door open for more credible aspirants to come. Let it be more contestable, so that they can challenge the challenger. They can challenge the challenger. They can stand APC. They can stand PDP. They can stand even Apga. Okay. I don't want Labour to be a runover, coming distant fourth in this election. They should be careful of the candidate that can make a great impact, even to capture the power.
Okay. Now something happened let me take us back to the State Assembly election. You know, we are now gearing towards November 11 for the governorship. Now, we all know, we have said it yourselves, that it is shocking that the ruling party, in spite of the outcry by the Imolites over performance, they scored 27/27. And one of you indicated that is a foretaste of what we are going to see in November. Now, what are we doing? What are we supposed to do? What are we going to do, given the experiences of the moment, to avoid a repeat of what happened? You know, people talked about INEC collaborating with the security operatives, and then under force of gun, results were written and announced. There is still the INEC, there is still the security operatives and everything, and the perpetrators. Now, what is there? What will you suggest as a way out to stem this situation and avoid a repeat, assuming all the candidates? Let me.
Yes. Thank you for this question. I will reserve some strategic advice, because this is an open platform. The Labour Party should go home and put their house in order.
Why is your focus on Labour Party? Is it because you are from Labour Party?
Yes.
What about other parties?
I am not going to advise other parties.
Why?
No.
I will. Is for Imolites.
Yes, it's for Imolites.
Don't limit it to Labour.
Yes. All right. I will say the opposition parties for now should go back to the drawing board. But I am foreseeing that the challenges ahead will not allow the precaution measures will not allow that 27/27 to repeat itself. INEC is very cautious now. People are now, the international community eyes are on them. The average Nigerian eyes are on them. Even come to Imo, people are educated enough on electoral matters that they have seen the play out, the game that came with 27/27. 27. But I'm telling you.
No, but I have to ask you.
Yes.
Of all of these things you said, these factors have been there.
Yes.
People were focusing on INEC.
Yes.
The international community were looking at them, and we were present. And people were so delighted at the electoral reforms. They were expecting the best. But in spite of all of this,
INEC would be very cautious now because, listen, INEC would not like to set this country in trouble. They would like to use this election to correct their anomalies. They correct their mistakes.
the governorship election.
I'm telling you, they will use it because all eyes are now. They did that when people never expected it. Even the 27/27, in the political history of Imo, even during PDP and MPN, when the election was so tough and contested, no, that cannot. When Igbos were fully in MPP, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Even when there was political evolution 2011 in Imo State, where a governor lost his second bid. Are you getting me? These are things that makes politics interesting. Very, very interesting. For anybody, even governor, president, XYZ, look at what is happening in US. Are you getting me? Nobody is sure that he will be there on a second term. Meaning that everybody is working hard and trying to remedy the wrongs and the narratives.
Okay, Nakaraba, do you agree with what he said that INEC is going to use the forthcoming election to show they have actually learned lessons? Do you agree with him?
I don't really agree. The present INEC in Nigeria and Imo, as constituted today, I don't see them giving Nigerians the best or giving Imo like. But my confidence is in Imo election is an off-season election, and all eyes will be on Imo. But what will be the beauty of that election? It will be after the primaries. Let us know what political parties, who political parties are presenting. Whoever the political parties are presenting,
you are correct,
will determine a lot of things. Imos are yearning for change, but not a change that His Excellency will be better than. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I didn't get you. So Imo is yearning for a change.
We are yearning for a change. We want to see good governance, somebody that will lead Imo to that the road where we are looking at. But at the end of the day, we are not bringing. If you present, if any political party to present a candidate that His Excellency is better, you will see that people will still move in that direction. Just like he mentioned in 2011 when Rochas came in, though we didn't know his aftermath. Well, it was a movement. Do you understand? Across political party, just like we have for P2B. People that voted for P2B is not just Labour. Because when you go to the local...
It was a coalition.
It was a coalition. Everybody. Do you understand? So, you see, in this election in November, I think I can only say this is what will happen after the primaries at the end of April.
Okay, now, Honorable Meziam, how do you think the withdrawal of Ihedioha from the gubernatoriate, from his party, he withdrew from the party, but he never told us if he has withdrawn from the governorship race. Now, how do you think that is going to color because he's seen as a big force, Ihedioha is seen as a big force to match the ruling party, and it looks like drawing from the criticism, from the attacks from the ruling party, he appears like he's a very big threat. Now that he has pulled back, how do you think that is going to affect the color of the primaries in the state?
The moderator.
Yes, sir.
I will say Ihedioha has done his best, but not a big force. I don't agree that it's a big force. If it's a big force, he would have not lost his constituency.
In this
yes.
election. Okay.
If it's a big force, he would have not lost this again. If it's also a big force, no matter the internal democracy or challenges or whatever he may envisage in PDP.
Can I draw your attention to something?
Yes.
You know, if you are talking about, let us not lose sight of what happened in the 27 over 27.
I'm not talking about 27 over 27. I'm talking about the general election. He's from Abombise. Right. He lost Abombise in the federal election.
Okay.
He lost Abombise in the Senate election. Yes, in the Senate election. He lost Abombise also because of the word you said, big force. If it's a big force, at least we would have had 26 over 27. Okay. We would have had an exemption.
Go ahead.
So, for you to understand the area I'm going. Now, if it's also a big force, I wrote a book, say, Challenge the Challenger. He would have been in PDP, which I see as an alternative party with Labour as of today, if they can present credible candidates to challenge the 2023 gubernatorial election. He would have made that primary very sweet. That the best between him, of my friend, my brother, distinguished Senator Sam Dadi, you know they contested before. And he would have, if this is a big force, he would have allowed himself to challenge him the second time. Check the heavyweight boxers. They meet rotationally. Are you getting me? So that word, heavy weight. We now want the people's heavyweight to challenge APC.
I don't really agree that this thing with them making head your hand. You see,
okay, you don't agree
the election,
with my description of him as a big threat. Okay.
In Imo politics, no matter how we look at it, making head your hand is a force.
So you are disagreeing with him?
I'm disagreeing with him. You see, nobody can judge anybody with what happened in the last presidential election, National Assembly election. Do you understand? Even you, if you are a card-carrying member of APC, an executive of APC, you'll be surprised that even your wife will not vote for APC in that election. Nobody would have stopped that movement. It was not about political party, because I am aware that even PDP people.
I am disagreeing in the word big force. I'm not saying he's not.
I use the word threat.
Yes.
Well, force is force.
Yes.
Because force is force.
Yeah.
If it's
depending on where you are applying it.
Yes.
On. If you are taking this pen now, dropping it here, there's a force on top of this thing. If you carry this one and drop it, you see they are different. So whatever force is force. And making head your hand is a force. He's a known name in Imo politics, who maybe if he's still on the race, if he will finally come on board on the race, he might still make impact in the state. Do you understand? What we are looking at, we have seen Imo State have tested him before, just for a few months. And at the end of the day, it's as if things are falling in line in Imo. Yes, Sam Dadi, don't forget also that Sam Dadi, Senator Sam Dadi Anyanwu, is a senator and the national secretary of PDP. Emeka may have seen something within the PDP internal family.
Didn't Sam Dadi see something in 2019?
As at that time, both Sam Dadi and Emeka. See, as at that time, both Sam Dadi and Emeka.
Who was in control of the national?
No.
Was it not Emeka?
Emeka was not in the executive of the party. Presently now, Sam Dadi is in the. It's just like me now. In Apga, for instance. No matter how you want to look at it, I am from Bitoli, and you want to emerge as a candidate in Apga, maybe for State House of Assembly or any position, and you think that I won't have a stake on anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? I should have a stake on who comes up as a leader of this party from that particular local government. You want to be a senator in the Owerri zone? I should be able to know how you came on board. Just like the same thing in PDP. Now, if Sam Dadi, as the national secretary of the party, Emeka may have seen something. Something may have happened that made, okay, it happened one over, let me give you an instance. He was also in PDP. They all agreed in PDP, made a delegate list. As soon as he left, his boy, which is okay, with Sam Dadi, they went and wrote the primary delegate.
How are you sure?
Yes, that was what happened. Then when he saw this thing, that if he goes to this thing, even his own word, the delegates there are not the people that they agreed together. So what did he do? He has to withdraw. So nobody will say,
what is political intrigues? Let me, excuse me.
No.
Let's talk real politics. Politics is a game of interest. The intrigues in politics, we should not overlook it. For instance, in every political party now, every candidate interest supersede any other challenges.
They are talking about
their own delegates, the delegate list that will be adopted by the national. Everybody is preparing his own list.
Now that is why we're talking.
Who signed that delegate list at the end of the day?
That's why we're talking about.
Who signed that delegate list?
That delegate, you are talking of interest. Somebody is protecting his interest against another
person's
interest.
interest.
So is it democratic? Is this fair?
That is what I'm saying. In the Imo State political norms, it's not democratic, but it has been in our blood that maneuvering, political maneuvering, these are where we want constructive turnaround, change, to change the narrative. Listen. Politics is a game of conscience.
So
that conscience, when you do the wrong thing, let it prick you because you are coming to serve the people.
So
yes, you are coming to serve the people. But if you manage to go there by trick, and you go there by trick, you will also be removed by trick because the other person is also planning.
So that is the intrigue you are talking about.
The intrigue.
So intrigue now, are you justifying it? Because you appear to be contradicting yourself.
No, I am not justifying intrigues. What I'm saying is that we are talking about the past. We are not talking of tomorrow. We are not talking of this present primaries. What I'm saying, even nomination of delegates should be transparent.
Good.
So that the people who have conscience will weigh, will assess these people and know the best to vote for. And when Apga brings the best, Labour brings the best, PDP brings the best, and if APC return, because I know even 27/27, their first motion in the House will be nobody in the party should challenge. That's the first adoption that will come. Are you getting me? Now, what we want is, we want a leverage, a political leverage, where people will have input. Are you getting me? Let us be happy.
You want us to change the status?
Yes. All right, look at the celebration in Apga. I have not witnessed such celebration in the Eastern Zone, where the entire old and young, even indigenous and non-indigenous, through the street celebrating LSOT.
2011.
It's okay. So, gentlemen,
let's have people's governor.
Yes.
Let's have people's government.
I may need to bring you back again, so we continue at another level to this discussion. For now, we're going to let me have your final words to the people on the primary election. For 1 second, you can just
Well, I just want to thank Indimo and ask them to expect more in Imo, expect good leadership, that the primaries will present to Imo people. At the end of the primary, by the ending of April, we are hopeful that the candidates that will emerge across political parties will be candidates that Imo-lites will have confidence in. So I think...
just 1 second.
I'm advising the political parties managers to be very prudent in management of this delegate election, because the type of delegate list they will make will give us the type of result Imo-lites will expect. If they give us delegates because of infiltrations, because of money, because of XYZ, or because of personal interest, Imo will remain the same.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the program.
May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain. You have heard it all from them. They have suggested what we need to do to get it right come November 11th. So get ready for the primary election, for the delegates that will be part of it. Honorable Mejem has said the type of delegates we produce will produce the quality of the candidates that will do the magic we expect. My name is Afam H. Thank you for being part of the program.